Now from the Weather Tracker TV Storm Studios, this is your weather today. Here's Chief Meteorologist William Cole.
All right, folks, here we go now on this Tuesday. And I tell you what, we've got a beautiful day of weather shaping up. Of course, yesterday at this time, we were dealing with rain and storms around the area. But today, Tuesday, again, we are dealing with bright sunshine all through the day, clear skies heading into the evening, and a daytime high in the lower to mid 70s. Locally here in the Metroplex. But we do have weather changes on the way. We've got a cold front that's going to be arriving late this evening and tonight. Not necessarily a lot of cold air with it, but we will be a smidge cooler as we get into tomorrow, Wednesday. And then really as we look to close out our work week, more of the same. We've got some great weather on the way. What about our next opportunity of rain and storms? Well, we're trying to find it in the weather charts. We'll talk about that again over the next few minutes. But looking around the region, again, with all the bright sunshine anticipated today, again, the one thing you may at least expect, the radar is completely quiet locally. In fact, you have to look well off to the deep south. Ongoing rain, thunder there. That's actually yesterday when we had our rain and thunderstorm activity. That's kind of the leftovers, the remnants over there. But this is what's drawing my attention now heading into our Tuesday. It's this blue line off to the north. That's a cold front. And like I mentioned, there's not necessarily a lot of cold air with it. But again, will it at least knock our temperatures down to about where we should be for this time of year? The answer to that is yes. Again, around the area, will our morning lows dip down where you're probably going to need the jacket, the coat out the door over the next couple of mornings? Again, the answer to that is yes as well. All of this has to do, again, with the big upper level storm system that, again, moved through North Texas and really the southern plains. Again, as we went through yesterday, Monday, look where it is now. It's well off to the north. This is eventually going to turn into much more of a troughing pattern up across parts of the Great Lakes region, the Midwest. A bunch of chillier air is going to be focusing there. So again, we're just kind of getting a glancing blow. You see the blue line, the front scooting down into the area. But truly the core of the colder air, if you will, it's going to be well off to our north, well off to our northeast. And so simply put, again, we're basically going to get back down about where we should be. Take a look at this. You can see this trough. See how this really carves out across parts of the Great Lakes region, the Midwest? That's going to be full of chillier air. But again, all of that stays up there. But then as we go forward in time, talking about the rest of our work week, even heading into the weekend, look at what we have developing. This is another ridging pattern. That's going to be quieter weather. That's eventually going to give us temperatures at or above normal heading into the weekend. And then looking over my shoulder, we're looking for our next troughing pattern to potentially bring us some active weather. But again, as I really kind of put this on fast forward mode, you can see at least kind of in the medium range, there's not a lot showing up. Again, we may be talking about 10 to maybe 12 days on down the road before our next opportunity of rain begins to show up. So just around the region here, again, where are the rain chances, at least over the next 7 days? Essentially non-existent. Again, you have to look well off to the east. So again, yes, with that ridging pattern building back in, it's going to be a pretty quiet pattern. So we're really talking about sunny skies, even with the frontal boundary coming through again for tonight into tomorrow, Wednesday. No real cloud cover associated with it. No opportunity of any precipitation. Again, simply put, we're just bone dry. And again, like I mentioned, really sunny skies. If you do like that kind of weather, you'll definitely be enjoying the forecast, like I mentioned, over the next several days, and in fact, all the way into the weekend as well. So the latest from the Climate Prediction Center, this is over the next 14 days, above normal temperatures, below normal temperatures. Where does North Texas fall? And you can see essentially we're going to be at or above normal. Like I mentioned, that will be the trend into the weekend. And as far as precipitation goes, kind of right about where we should be, maybe slightly below. Again, like I mentioned, at least for right now, we're looking at about 10 to 12 days to find our next opportunity of any precipitation. So 70s to go along with all that bright sunshine. Again, you'll definitely be enjoying that as we go through the day. Talking about your Tuesday evening, temperatures easing down through the 60s. The wind will begin to pick up behind the front. You'll notice a northerly wind kicking in. And again, there will be some 30s out to the west tonight, 40s elsewhere. Again, that's going to be behind the front, and that will set us up for tomorrow, Wednesday. You can see a smidge cooler around the area, generally lower 60s for daytime highs. So tomorrow, Wednesday, again, we'll kind of chisel that daytime high down. You can see 60s the next few days. There it is. Temperatures begin to moderate for the weekend. And look at that, 10, 12 days on down the road. That's the next opportunity of precipitation.